Hi, everybody. Hello, hello. Good to see you all. I'm doing some crocheting. It's been a little stressful. And I actually started a blanket yesterday. So this is how much I got. It's very big. It'll fit probably folded up at the bottom of like a uh, probably a queen size, maybe yeah, probably a queen size bed. So yeah, I'm working on this because I needed something to do with my hands and just to de-stress because we've been talking about a lot of really heavy topics. Hi, Julia. Hi, everybody. I was seeing some comments from Joel. Joel, I'm so sorry about your mom. She's in the hospital. Oh, yeah, it's so hard. Well, lots of love to you. Yeah. Well, thank you all for being here. Please send Joel some love. Lots of love to you, Joel. That's so hard, losing your parent. I know. And it's hard watching them slip away. I know. So, love you lots, Joel. Pat, oh, been making scrubbies. It's awesome. So, I do have some things to show you today. I want to talk about some things, but I also just want to hang out with you guys because it's been it's been pretty intense. And I took yesterday off. I had to go get fitted for new lenses because I have the same old glasses forever, and these are just dollar store cheaters. But I wear contacts, so I need my regular glasses at night, and they literally were falling apart. They're like 7 years old, so I ended up getting new frames, and I got a buy one get one free. So I'm pretty happy about that. So those will come in pretty soon. So I needed to go outside. It was nice out yesterday. I didn't want to deal with any, talking about child SA is just awful. And yes, lots of love. Yeah, to our friend Joel. We love you, Joel. Cat date cults. Yeah. Yeah. Morning, Matt, Canada. You there? Yeah, so I in the description of this video, I put a link to Susie Oberholt's her stream from yesterday. Susie, I am just in awe of your strength and your ability to paint a picture so clearly of what we need to be aware of. And I also just appreciate your vulnerability and your honesty in telling us your story. It was just so heartbreaking. And it's good that people are coming forward and talking about things because there are so many that haven't. And it's very unfortunate that SA and child SA are definitely more common than we thought, or than I thought anyways. And it's, like I said, it's a tough subject, but I'm willing to talk about it because I think it's important. And especially in this space, again, I can't say it enough, with trauma survivors, having people infiltrate. And I'm not done with Tommy Scoville either. I'm not. So stay tuned for that because I really feel like this needs to be brought out and talked about and shown, because we need to protect ourselves and we need to protect our friends. Lots of Canadians in here. Yes, I love it. And this is Susie's channel. Definitely head over and subscribe if you're not subscribed. So yeah, I just wanted to take a little breather. I do have those things to show you. I think there's something to be said for letting people have second chances. I think that I think that it's important to do that. And I'm willing to give Mrs. J a second chance. I do have some things that have been sent to me, some email correspondence and things like that would pretty much make what she's saying about me supposedly covering up or not doing anything about Louis Repetto or being some, I don't even know what I'm being accused of, because none of it's true. It's all ridiculous. But I do have some receipts, and if she wants to keep it up, I will show those too. So, but I want to give her a second chance. As for Dave Linton, I don't think that second chances are going to work for him, and I don't think he should have a place of prominence or even a voice in this community, especially attacking survivors. There has been some comments floating around that this was made it look like a kind of statutory thing that would have been fine if it was in, Canada or another country or even another state that where the age is 16 for consent. But I want to show you some stuff, because there's no mention of the ages of the materials, the child porn that he was caught with. There's no mention of those ages, and I will show you that in the court docket, in the court note, the memos from the two sides of the defense and the prosecution have these memos, which are also public. Everything that I'm going to show you, everything that I'm going to tell you about it, that I'm going to read from it, is all public knowledge. It's not and some of it's not super easy to find, but it is public. And I want to thank some very reliable sources that have given me some things to look over, and some things that I found on my own. And so I think it's important. And this whole debate of whether a child predator can be reformed, I don't know. They maybe, but they need to stay away from children. They need to stay away from vulnerable people. That's how I feel, And this whole thing of Tommy Scoville saying that he's going, or Brett Miller saying that he's going to get government grants to go in schools. I hope not. And if I have anything to do with it, I would find the school and tell them, do not let him in. So let me do that while I'm the dude was older than 20, the minors were minors. Yeah. And for all we know, the minors that were in that video could have been 13, 14, 15. It just says teenagers. Oh, yeah, thanks. I just read that. I didn't pop it up. Sorry. Yeah, they could have been young teenagers. We don't know that. And I think that if you listen, and I can't bring myself to read it, guys, but if you listen to Susie Oberholtz read that affidavit yesterday, if you listen to Rabbit read it, and how she said the details are important, they are very important. As Susie said, you don't forget that. And this is important. And if you read that, you see not only it's not like, oh, you're cute, oh, you're 16, oh, well, it wasn't a one-time thing. It was a pattern. The confidential informant had gone to the authorities and said, I know that such and such, David Linton has been engaging in sexual activities with minors. And then he said he kind of set up this honey trap and then sent it over to the authorities, who then became undercover cops and took over his identity to talk to the defendant, who was Dave Linton. So, I mean, it's been read out several times. If you want to, go back and listen to Susie or Rabbit read it. I'm not going to read that, but I am going to pick up with the court documents and show you some piece this together. And then I want to show you Susie Oberholtz. I think she's in here. And I will show you the notes that the probation officers had written years later, and it was a petition to the court to summon him back to court, because like he said, he said that they became his advocates, that he reformed, that it was so long ago he doesn't remember. Bullshit, because they did not become his advocates. They said this guy is awful. And I'll show you exactly what they said word for word. Okay. Oh, let me get caught up on some of the comments and then I'll start fresh here. This is not surprising. I never saw a predator who stopped after one time. Right. You mean Brett Miller? He doesn't deserve to hide behind a fake name. Yes, I corrected myself. That's right. Predators don't get to have second chances. Yeah. Yeah. Constance June, I'm shocked about all the people saying he was only 16. It was just one unsolicited pic Dave was sent that was set up. Yeah, that he was set up. Please don't play devil's advocate on this one. Yeah, it's not a good look. It's a terrible look. And you keep doing it, I'll keep calling you out. That's all there is to it. George Massey, the shock to me in that affidavit, he was grooming the kid. Yeah, I absolutely agree. It was very, very it was very common. Sorry. It was, it was very clear to me that he was being groomed. It was also like layering it on and saying things like he was allergic to latex and things like that. I don't know. He might be. I don't really care in a way, but I also think that that's something that I'm very tongue-tied because I hate talking about this, but I think it's something that some predators say, you know, it's gross. I mean, did you really need to know that right that minute? No. Okay, shock to me. He was grooming the kid, coaching him as yes, he was innocent. Right, exactly. He was teaching him and telling him because he's like, oh, what's this? And he's like, oh, it's this. And he was like describing it and really laying it on. And he's like, I'm 16. He's like, oh, that's okay. You're nice. You seem nice. It's gross. Okay. You, Nikki, I hate this. I'm going to crochet again, but I wanted to show these guys, but thank you. Okay. Whew. All right. Let's do this. Okay. So this is just a small portion of the affidavit. It's been read over and over and over, so I don't really want to, in fact, I'm not even going to pull that part up. I'm just going to read that part and then I'll pull the rest up. Okay. So this was from the affidavit you'd heard of. On October 22nd, 2004, a confidential informant, CI, advised law enforcement that he knew that the defendant, David Christopher Linton, a resident of blah, 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 had engaged in sexual conduct with minors. And then he goes on to describe how he had been talking to him and posing as this 16-year-old named David. Okay. And then let me pull up these. Okay. So this is from the original charge. Pull this up. Okay. Now these are the part of the court documents from the original charge. And this says the offense, just one sec, pull it over. Offense conduct. And it says, on May 23rd, 2005, Mr. Linton pleaded guilty to possessing one video image of child P-word. The video obtained from the internet depicts teenagers from Russia engaging in sexual conduct. Mr. Linton regrets that he possessed this image. Does it say their age anywhere? It says depicts teenagers from Russia. Teenagers, plural, too. So there's more than one Russian teenager being exploited here. More than one, and we don't know their ages. And we don't know the ages of the alleged, the minors that he allegedly was engaging in those acts with, which was the reason why the undercover sting happened in the first place. So there is definitely more than one victim, and it's not just a undercover person, cop that is posing as a 16-year-old. There's a lot of young teens that are involved in this. So you want to argue this? You want to say that it was a one-time thing, that he's reformed? Well, let's look at some of the other things that I have here. Okay. So this is his petition for summons for offender supervision. And this is issued September 19th, 2005. His original offense was, this is the date of original sentence. What was the date on this? I know it's 2008, I believe. Okay, so I'm going to read from this, and I'm going to minimize it for a second. Okay. So you've seen that it's real document. He said himself that these documents are authentic, and they certainly are, and they're publicly obtained. Okay. It says, date of original sentence, September 19th, 2005, possession of child, B-word. Original sentence was 6.5 months custody and 3 years supervised release. Special conditions, home confinement with electronic monitoring, 6.5 months. And this was in addition to the 6 months that he spent in the federal penitentiary and the 3 years of probation. No computer access to any online computer service, consent to examinations of computer equipment, including retrieval and copying of all data, and consent to installation of hardware or software to monitor use. So they're monitoring his computer. Refrain from accessing via computer material that relates to the offense. Register. So he was required to register as a sex offender pursuant to state law. And it's been a while, so it could very well not be he might be off the registry now, but this is what the court document said. Computer material register as a sex offender pursuant to state law, search, no contact with minors, and DNA collection. Okay. Prior form on June 29th, 2006, a petition was filed for a request to modify the conditions of supervision to include sex offender treatment. So they're actually piling on more conditions, and they're adding sex offender treatment. On October 16, 2006, the court modified the conditions to include mental health treatment and polygraph testing upon approval by the court. On July 2nd, 2007, so this is 3 years after the offense, 2 years after the sentence, a no bail arrest warrant was issued for the offender's arrest following a new law violation involving drugs. So he was picked up again. I guess, when you're convicted of a felony, you serve time, you're on probation, you can't mess up at all. And so he was brought in on a drug charge, is what this is saying. On August 6, 2007, the court modified the conditions to include electronic monitoring for 6 months. So he basically violated his probation and had to have electronic monitoring, is what I'm getting from this. Okay. The issuance of a summons for the offender to appear in court before the magistrate judge for identification of counsel and setting of further proceedings on January 31st, 2008, 9 a.m. Okay. Okay, I think I can show this. I know I can show this. Okay, yes, this is also public. This is also public. Okay. I'm just going to show you the authenticity of it. If you want to look at it later and blow it up, you can. But I'm going to take it down so it's easier for me to read it. Okay. So this is the report, part of the report that his probation officer submitted to the courts as part of this petition for summons. Okay, it has the charge number and the violation. There is probable cause to believe that the offender violated standard condition number 5, talking about his conditions of probation, which states in part that the offender shall work regularly at a lawful occupation unless excused by the probation officer. On October 17, 2007, the offender notified me that he was fired from his employment at Panera Bread. On October 25th, 2007, I spoke with the offender at his home and advised him that he did not secure employment if he did not secure employment within 2 weeks, I would require him to perform community service on a part-time basis. The offender stated at the time that he understood. So that was October 17th, 2007. October 16th, and December 14th, 2007, I spoke with the offender regarding his job search progress, and he indicated that he applied at several local businesses without success. So that was November 16th and December 14th. On December 20th, 2007, I contacted the offender by telephonically, it says, and he advised that he had submitted several applications at a local mall but received no response. I directed the offender to register at One Stop Career Center to assist him in his job search. I also directed the offender to conduct community service work during the holidays, and provided him with the telephone number of the local community service agencies. Okay. On January 17th, 2008, I conducted an unannounced home visit at 12:30 p.m. At that time, the offender was not yet dressed and admitted that he had no plans to engage in employment search activities for the day. I asked the offender about his job search progress, and he indicated that he had made no progress. I asked the offender if he had conducted any community service work during the holidays, and he advised he had not. Real piece of work. That's me talking right there. I advised the offender that I would be notifying the court of his noncompliance in securing employment and disregarding the directive that he perform community service work. The offender replied, "It is what it is. Do what you need to do." That's what he said to them, to the probation officer, which, wow, unbelievable. All right. Let me I just want to look at what I'm showing you to make sure there's no addresses, phone numbers, or anything else like that. Okay. Okay, so real quick, I want to show you part of his statement from the other day. I ran out of time, so I didn't get to look it up on his Twitch thing, but I'm going to just play it from what I played the other day. So you do that.
So there's some documents going around that people have seen. And if you see them, those documents are authentic. In 2004, I was arrested by the U.S. Postal Inspector and the FBI for traveling to meet a teenager I was speaking to on the internet. Subsequently, I pled guilty to 1 count of possession of CSAM on my computer. I did 6 months in a federal penitentiary and 3 years of U.S. probation. The details are kind of unimportant. It happened so long ago. I don't recall any of it. I no longer have documents associated with it. The day that I was relieved of my U.S. federal probation, my boyfriend at the time and I went to the beach and burned all of those documents to symbolize that we were done with that. Just really quick, I wanted to thank folks who brought to my attention that these documents were floating around today without spreading them around to other places such that I might have the first word on this. I understand, due to the fact that we have made a lot of enemies around here as Echoplex Media, that I will not be the last word on this. And oh, I thought I had all the alerts off. In any case, if people have questions, I'm happy to answer them in private for now. This was a massive mistake that I made, and I have done everything I can since to make up for what harm I may cause to society. And other content creators may choose not to associate with me. Other people in this community may choose to leave this community. If that's the case, that is your right. And and I would, I will not hold it against you, talk shit about you, anything like that. And I want to let people know that if they do choose to continue to associate with us, that they are under no obligation to defend me or the actions that I took 20 years ago that put me in the position I am now, that I have to explain this. I do want to say that at the beginning of the process, the U.S. Federal Probation and the U.S. Attorney's Office were my greatest adversaries. And by the time I was relieved from probation, they were my greatest advocates, which is the craziest thing you're ever going to hear anybody say.
Yeah, it kind of is a crazy thing to say because it doesn't seem true to me, at least. And I'll show you why I think that. So he's saying that he has done everything in his power to make up for this and to contribute to society, and that the probation officers or whoever was dealing with him were his greatest advocates. Well, not according to these documents. Let me put those back up. Okay. This is also part of the summons, and it's part of the report that the probation officer submitted to the court. Okay, it says additional information. Let me make sure it's up. Okay, yes. Additional information. On January 2nd, 2008 and January 10th, 2008, I communicated with the with the offenders. I communicated with the offenders' two separate treatment providers. So his two treatment providers, I assume they were probably mental health providers, and most likely, they advised that the offender has a sense of entitlement and feels that he should not have to work, as he derives sufficient income from his parents. Since his release from electronic monitoring on January 4th, 2008, the offender has been attending nightclubs with more frequency in hopes of becoming a music promoter. According to the offender's therapists and myself, frequenting nightclubs is an inappropriate activity for the offender, given his drug abuse and history, given the nature of the underlying offense. So you decide there. I mean, that was 15, 17 years ago, but from what I've seen of his actions online in this space and how he's treated people that have completely unprovoked, I don't think. Yeah, sick way to separate yourself from your crimes. Right. And saying he doesn't remember, saying it was a long time ago, saying that he contributed to society and to community. No, he refused. And then he was just like, this is a 30-year-old guy at this point, right? Because it happened when he was 27. Here it is, several years later, and he's completely just blowing off the probation officer, saying, well, do what you got to do, whatever. You should have said a heinous crime. Yeah, exactly. He said, I wonder how many of those people who want to excuse Dave's or Brett's crimes have kids of their own. Shame on that. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So let me go down more comments. Yeah. Growing up in Scientology, Mrs. J minimizing these crimes is a new low, even for her. Yeah, that is super gross. And, she, like, to her credit, I mean, she did say, oh, I can't support him anymore. But then she played this whole apology. And then in the comments, she was saying like how, well, in another country, because it's, the age is 16 and they keep lowering the age in the UK and now it's 16. It's like, it doesn't matter. It was basically luring these young kids, and we don't know. They could have been anywhere from 13 to 15 in that video, in the the child corn. And the fact that, and I keep saying it till I'm blue in the face, but the whole reason why that undercover sting happened was because they got a tip off that he was engaging in those activities with minors. The edges weren't set. So, and the thing is too, is like, you look at it as a whole thing. It's a pattern. It's a pattern of behavior, and his behavior, even nowadays, is shit, isn't good. isn't good. And the fact that he's trying to just smooth it over and say that was a long time ago, I've reformed, they were my advocates, I've done everything. He wouldn't even show up during the holidays to do a part-time community service. And this is a full ass grown man, full grown ass man, whatever they say, a full grown man laying around having his mommy, support him. He can't even hold a job at Panera Bread, and he's hanging out at nightclubs and stuff. Does this seem like somebody who has done everything they can to make recompense, to make up for their crimes, to reform themselves? No. And you've got these trolls defending him and saying, oh, well, he's mentally ill or this or that. Then he should be getting treatment. He shouldn't be in this space, and these people that are saying, making excuses for him, saying he has mental illness, maybe they shouldn't be on the internet either, because they don't seem very stable themselves. So I'm just putting that out there as it comes to me. They want to keep going. I can do this all day, all night, all year, all decade if they want, because I'm going to make sure that these predators are exposed, because this needs to be a safe space. And they poke the bear. It's not like I was going looking for it. I would never have known who David Linton was if he didn't do hour after hour after hour after hour after hour of snarky commentary and ripping me down. So you want attention from me, Dave Linton? You want attention from me, Mrs. J? Go for it. Go for it. So he said, and this is the person who dares to play the moral judge of this community. Get the yeah, no, exactly. Growing up in Scientology. Oh, and the other Dave Linton supporter, Pete Jensen, Swatty Scotty, admitted this morning that Pete is behind the fake SPTV channel. I knew it. All the cockroaches work together. I knew it. Thank you, Scotty Swat. Thank you, DOA. Appreciate that. How can she justify this? Makes so nope, it doesn't. Angie Wilson, there's no only or just when it comes, yeah, and I would add, but when it comes to this, using terms like that to minimize is disgusting. 100%. Nikki Hatfield, I bet his victims remember, you freaking moron. Yeah, exactly. I wonder if she has kids. I'm not sure. There are nieces and nephews from her. Yeah. Easton, it's like they're wearing their red flags for all to see. Yeah, and I've seen some comments like, she doesn't represent all UK people. We take care of our young, our kids, and even, teenagers. Hey, ham it up again. This is devastating. Thank you for bringing this forward. Well, I really appreciate the support from everyone, and that has helped me even before I did this. Like Marisa was really there for moral support, and she knew some of this guy's history, which really helped. And I've had, a lot of my friends have just really held my hand through this, because I'm crocheting, because I'm really stressed out about it. And I'm laughing not because it's funny, but because it's just, yeah, it's just a nervous laugh. It's just so terrible to talk about. But I really appreciate all the creators who, like I said, I think the more channels that cover this, the better, because this guy won't be able to hide. And you better believe that I'll be watching, because if his channel emerges again and he starts doing this shit again, I will call it out. I will absolutely call it out. Force of delightful nature. If I were arrested by the feds and incarcerated, I I will remember what I did. Him saying he doesn't remember shows he's not recognizing the gravity of his crime. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And thanking people for covering it up or not coming forward and saying anything about it. Angie Wilson, if my perpetrator had spoken like this about that event, my trauma would be ripped right open again. Yeah, as if it just happened. It's sick to hear him talk about it like that. Yeah. What a sick way to separate yourself from your crimes. Yeah. Joe McCoy, so his parents are giving him money, a silver spoon kid who will never grow up. His parents need to wake up. Yeah, and he's like, well, what will he be now? Pushing 50, late 40s. Wow. Peripheral Jane, he committed crimes in America. The age of consent is 18, period. Yeah, well, in California, it's 18. In Massachusetts and Vermont, where I live, it's 16, which I think is terrible, but it is 18 in California. But again, that was just the age that the undercover cop said that they were online. But like I said, there were other kids involved with, and allegedly is the reason why it was even tipped off to begin with, right? And then the materials found in his computer, it just said Russian teenagers. So, I mean, I don't know how they would know their exact age, but they did know they were minors. So, and there's more than one. So it's like it's not like what Susie said yesterday is like, oh, two kind of teenagers, like a 16-year-old and 18-year-old kind of sneaking around and being like, oh, yikes, and the parents get mad about it and report the guy, and it's statutory. That's not this. This isn't that. It was a grown-ass man. He knew what he was doing, and it was a pattern of behavior. A pattern of behavior. So kiss my biscuits on that one. Steve Spira, they've got all the attention now. This is why they say be careful what you wish for. Yep. You can have all the attention. Sorry, just scrolling. Wild Poppy, just because they are caught definitely doesn't mean it's the first time, right? Or even the last. We don't know. Sounds like he knew what he was doing psychologically. Yeah. Absolutely. Hey, Melissa, new member. Thank you so much for becoming a new cup. Oh my God. Thank you so much. Yay, seal clap. It's raining cups. Hallelujah. It's raining cups. Amen. It's raining cups, guys. And that was a little while ago, but thank you. Oh no, a few minutes ago. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Oh, is Eric here? Hey, Eric. Eric Rader. Go subscribe to his channel. He is so much fun. Yeah, Sundays with Raider. Yep. Amen, y'all. That's funny. I don't remember saying that. Subscribed. Yes, Sundays with Eric. I love it. Yeah, don't burn those biscuits. I think I have that mug today. Don't burn my biscuits. Oh, I'm glad to see a girl. Deanna, thank you for being here. Marsha Smith, hello. Okay, Nova, I will. I'll read your email. Thank you for letting me know. Okay. Thank you. Because I did look at my emails this morning, but I didn't see. I just kind of scanned them real quick because I was trying to pull these documents from my email, but I will check that out. Okay. How do you gift a membership? It usually comes up at the bottom when you hit the little $sign, I think. Hey, Feral Cheryl. Good to see you, friend. Pup Groomer 20. Let's not forget the long-term effects of child SA personally. I struggle with standing in lines. I suffer from general depression, anxiety, and have issues with intimacy and relationships. Just a few. Yeah. Yeah. And it's very important to be sensitive and remember that. Yeah. Right. And Joel, thank you. And lots of love to you and your mom and your whole family. Love you. You're such a good friend. Thank you so much. Hey, Hammy. Is that ham it up, Hammy? I love it. And people call DOA as a fraudy. I love that. Jojo. Yep, Barrel Cheryl, the queen of funny shorts. Oh, Cheryl, I don't know, did you just come in here? So I'm still working on my other stuff, but I kind of wanted to just, do you know how like sometimes like you just want something kind of mindless to do? And I've been wanting to make a blanket for the new A-frame. So I might end up keeping it. I don't know. I usually don't even keep things that I make, but this is, it's a nice soft yarn. None of that red heart stuff. That's not good for blankets. It's good for amigurumi, but not blankets. It is acrylic. Looks like a number 4, but it's Lion Brand Mandala Ombre. But it's like kind of a navy, light blue, medium blue. And people get caught and then say sorry. Then they do it again. Yeah. We talk a lot about informed consent, right? And if I'm going to go to somebody and tell them about my childhood trauma or, my cult experience or even, God forbid, my SA experience, and it turns out that this person is a convicted predator, I did look up I don't have it right here, but I did look up the crime that he was convicted of. It was like a Class C felony. So unfortunately, there are some cases where child porn is considered, there's levels of it. And sometimes it's considered a misdemeanor, but that is very, called a wobble, I don't know, something kind of case. But that's not the case in this. This was a felony. It was a felony. Hey, Angie, do I have a computer for memberships? I'm sorry. Oh, thank you for the super chat. That's okay. All right. George is back. Awesome. No such thing as a stash. Too huge. Yeah. I always say that with fabric. That's right. There's a new channel that I absolutely love, and she's a knitter and a crocheter. It's called Elise Rose Crochet. Check out her channel for all you crocheters or even yarn fanatics or knitters, because I love it. Like, she does these top 10 things or 25 mistakes that crocheters make, or just all these like top whatever. And actually, I took her advice on getting this yarn for blankets, and it's turned out I like it. So yeah, she'll go into like Michael's or Joann's or something and just pick out a bunch of yarn and do reviews on them, and she'll rate them and rank them. But it's called Elise Rose Crochet. It's a pretty big channel, so I'm sure you can find it. Hi, I'm making a blankie. I decided I wanted to have something that I don't have to count. And so basically, once I got it down, it's nice and big. Once I got it kind of going, then all I got to do is, well, UK is different, but in the US, this is considered, it's a single crochet and then a double crochet. So just do double, single, double, and then you just keep going on it, and then you turn and do the same row all the way until you get it as tall as you want it. So it's a nice relaxing one. I don't have to sew anything together. I don't have to make a ton of little pieces, and I don't have to count. I just have to remember the stitch that I did last. So then I can talk to you guys. There's I forgot her last name, Danielle. She's called the Knitting Cult Lady. She's been on Cults to Consciousness, and I've been watching her, and I love her content. she can get a little political, which I sort of stay away from. I agree with a lot of what she has to say, but I don't do politics here. But she's great. She'll just pour her heart out, and she'll just be like looking at because she's knitting like this, and she doesn't have to look down once. And I'm like, I don't know how she does that. I mean, I've never knitted, so I don't know if you have to look or if it's just like a muscle memory thing, if you're just going back and forth. But I have to look down because I have to make sure that I put my hook into the proper thing, and then it's both loops too. Sometimes you have patterns that you're doing front loop or back loop. Yeah, I love you, Joel. Headed to film a new video. I can't wait. I can't wait. Are you going to publish it tonight, or when is it going to be published? This weekend? I can't wait. Lynch should look up his amigurumi. I thought you were talking about amigurumi, like what I do. I'm a groomie, like, oh, and amigurumi life for the sake of child. Yeah. Yeah. It's just, it's pretty awful. Probably the weekend. We'll see how much I get done. Awesome. Can't wait. Yep, it's easy to be fooled, unfortunately. I get it. Sun's out. Yeah, it was really nice here yesterday. It's funny that Kelly and I seem to have like the same weather, even though she's across the pond. Yeah, I love her work. Yeah, she's an amazing editor. And I love how she narrates things and puts them all together like a nice puzzle. Low key chat today. Yeah. Yeah, so how long have we been going? 47 minutes. So I'm hoping that this is the last stream that I need to do about this. Not making any promises, guys. So, for those that like to say, I know none of you do, but, oh, here goes Meryl with the drama again. She can't let it go. Well, you know what? Sometimes I am like a dog with a bone. If I feel like it's an important topic that there's more to discuss on it, then I'll talk about it. We all want to believe in redemption. Yeah. Inherent goodness. Yeah. It's not our failure. It's his. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Never apologize for having compassion and wanting to see the good in people. It's a very good quality. And I think that's why that we get fooled, because we don't think like a predator. We don't think like a criminal. And I hate to even have to, but now I think we're seeing a pattern in this community when there's a charismatic leader that seems very, very confident, and he comes in and starts to get a following, and you start to get little red flags, or you just don't have a great feeling from the beginning. I would just kind of file that, and not that you have to go out and talk about it or anything in the beginning, because you don't know, but I think trusting your gut is never a bad thing. And I don't know. I had a feeling about Brett Miller when I first saw him, and I never said anything, and I wanted to give him a chance, but I'm glad I never really talked to him, engaged with him. And the same with DOA. I just had no desire to, engage and get involved with what he was involved with. No, I don't know. If it's sus, let's discuss. Put that on a mug. Oh my God. You had a feeling about Brett. Yeah. Yeah. I did, for those of you that remember, that we have this new merchandise that I am taking all proceeds and giving them to our friend Hef and Alan, her fiance, for whatever they want to use it for, their wedding or whatever. So far, we've sold 6 mugs with the words. It has a peach with googly eyes, and it says "Free Hef's Hoo Ha." And I didn't bring it out because, you know, I feel like I'm going to save that for a silly stream. You know, this stuff's been very serious, but I did get the mug, and I am collecting $5 per. That's what the profits are, and I'll give that to them. So if anybody's interested, it's a really cute mug, and proceeds will go to our friends, Hef and Alan. Oh. Someone crochet a Taylor Swift doll. I mean, I could. I just it's funny because you can't really. Oh, thanks for doing this. You're welcome. You can't really mass produce things like that, you know. So if I make something, it's like, you know, and somebody likes it, they want it. It's like, oh, I can't. Yeah, that would just be. I'd have to charge so much. Like ask Asen. Like she does. What she does, I could never, ever do. But I'm sure she has to charge a lot because it's hours and hours and hours and hours, and they're one of a kind, you know. So they are just crazy. Asen, now knowing that Reese had the proof of his crimes and decided to ignore it and allowed him near her kid is mind-boggling to me. Yeah. And I don't know what she knew about his prior convictions. I remember, you know, as far as his SA goes, but I remember, I mean, it would be really hard to find the clip, but she just basically said, like, if he had a SA, you know, criminal record, he would tell you. And I'm like, no, he wouldn't. Like, okay. She's like, no, he didn't, because if he did, he would tell you. I'm like, I doubt it. I really doubt that, you know. And he kind of sloughed it off as a statutory thing, and it's not a statutory thing. It's a felony. I am looking into obtaining more documents to that effect, because I don't want to do this unless I have enough to present with receipts, you know. I have seen some things that have been passed around, floating around. Knife Hoarder, to his credit, has brought up a lot of, you know, brought it out to the light, and has brought a lot of exposure to Brett Miller's crimes, which I think was great, because it actually tipped so many of us off that I wasn't crazy, that our suspicions were right, you know, that this guy was no good. And I don't think he is. I don't think he should be teaching in elementary schools, you know, talking to kids. I really don't. Or any schools at all. So, see you later, Northern Girl. Good to see you. Hey, Hamming up again. Hey, Marilyn, I'm currently knitting little monkeys. They're absolutely adorable. Using baby alpaca. Oh my God, that sounds so beautiful. Can you send me a picture? My email is coffeecultsandcrafts@gmail.com. I would love to see that. Yeah, I was making little flying monkeys. I haven't made one in a while. They're a lot of work, but they're so much fun. These papers clearly say yes. Yeah. I'm looking for the actual court documents, but hopefully we can find them. And if we do, they'll most likely be public. So I will see what I can do on that end. Because I happen to live in the same state. I live in Vermont, where the incident occurred. So there's a chance that I might be able to get more information. Jojo, I want to learn to crochet. Yeah, you know what's wild? Like I said, that channel that I love, the Elise Rose Crochet, she did, this was really cute. You heard of the Woobles kits? She said it's more like, instead of like a kit, it's more like a course, because it actually gives you like a video to watch and instructional instructions, but it gives you all the stuff to start with, and it's amigurumi. So they usually starts with a magic circle. They do the magic circle for you, and they give you all of the little stitch markers and all that, and walk you through it. So Elise decided, this was really cute. she had her husband who had never crocheted in his life, right? And I mean, she crochets around him, but he doesn't know how to do it. So she sat him down and had him do the kit. And he said it was actually pretty good. Like, he learned how to crochet. I don't think he really liked it because he didn't finish the project. So she ended up finishing the project. But it's really cool how she breaks down all these different aspects of like knitting and crocheting and just like that crochet life. You know, I love it. I love it. That could be a name for a channel, that crochet life. But yeah, if you'd like to, I definitely look at some YouTube videos too, because those are free. I mean, the Woobles kits are like $30, $30 or $40. But in Vermont, you have to go to that county's clerk and do a manual search, and that is possible. Yeah, that is possible. Constance Jude, I agree to only doing streams on this when we have documented evidence. I appreciate this was backed up with evidence. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing too, is with this, I didn't do a stream the day I got it. It was a few days later because I wanted to go through it and, you know, make sure that it was public evidence. How I consulted two different sources, legal advice, and to see like what I was allowed to say, how I should present it, and all that, because I take it very seriously. And I wanted to make sure that the receipts were there and genuine. So could you make a that's funny. Make a CDT doll that you stick pins into, asking for a friend. Oh, listen, I'll only say that I always say I'm a firm believer that anything can be crocheted. So it could happen. It definitely could. It's possible. I can cross stitch anything, but I can't do knit or crochet. Yeah, I've never been able to learn to knit. I don't know if I've done much cross stitch. I think I've done a little bit, but it just didn't take to it as much as crochet. I just love it. Calling out predators is not trauma. Yeah, I agree. Unfortunately, both online and former cult communities attract people like Dave and Brett. Yeah. And Marisa Dianetic says that all the time. Like, she did a really good video maybe a week or two ago about that, about how it's like a big attraction for grifters, con men, predators, you name it. So yeah, you got to be aware. You got to be on the lookout. Oh, hey, Kate Delight. Good to see you, friend. Great to see you. So what time is it? Oh, I was really late today, so we're past 12. I think Natalie's on. I will wrap this up. Thank you for listening. Please like, subscribe if you haven't. If you want to leave a comment, that's great too. Or you can email me if you have anything to chit chat with me about. It's coffeecultsandcrafts@gmail.com. And just glad to see you all today. We'll see you over the weekend, but tomorrow, tune in at noon Eastern. I think I haven't confirmed with him for sure, but I'm pretty sure that tomorrow we'll be talking about tribalism with Mark Torrey, and this is very timely. I think that it's something that we really can get something out of, because hey, we all love community as humans. We crave community, human interaction, and we tend to, kind of break into tribes. So I think it's a really good thing to talk about. And he's just a wealth of information. He'll approach it from a scholarly, historical point of view, which really fascinates me. So yeah, don't miss that tomorrow. I will schedule that soon, and I will talk to y'all later. I'm going to just end it instead of put my chillins up. I'll see you later. Have a good day, guys.